News and programming is sponsored by Desert View Hospital, providing emergency medical care around the clock at 360 South Lola Lane. Learn more at desertviewhospital.com. Physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, first responders locate an accident victim in a sea of cars.
And a new service is set up to help veterans. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. And Eunette Gentry. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
An overturned car is found in a resident's yard. It's Tuesday, June 12th, Election Day. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry.
An accident victim was found with the use of GPS shortly after she rolled her vehicle in a neighborhood.
We were dispatched last evening for a report of a single vehicle accident. Actually, it went out as just that, a single vehicle accident with not a lot of details, and they were only using GPS coordinates to give us a general area where this accident occurred. Throughout a relatively short process, we were trying to locate that vehicle, and when we arrived in the area of the intersection, Quail Run and Barney, there was no indicators of an accident there. Crews were searching the area with the sheriff's office. Coordinates again were suggesting that the accident was right there, though. So at one point, the driver who was reporting that they were in an overturned vehicle and entrapped indicated that they heard voices at one point. So by tracking those activities, they were able to find that the vehicle had launched way into a yard, a tree covered property with numerous vehicles on it, and had come resting on its roof with the driver entrapped, but amongst other vehicles. So it kind of blended into the environment. And so crews then commenced. Difficulties with the scene was really poor illumination, real difficult access, could not get the rescue onto the property, so everything had to be drawn off by hand. We were able to stabilize that vehicle and extricate that patient. Again, because of the area, how dark it was, and the tree line, things like that, we took the patient to Calvada Meadows Airport, where we met Mercy Air 21, and the patient was flown to trauma. We believe it was on a cell contact, and they were just triangulating it and trying to determine exactly where that was. And it was in the general area. She was a little bit further off, but I mean, it did a really good job. It was like giving us a real good general idea.
And the fire chief is also giving us an update on a structure fire that occurred Monday in the Mountain Falls subdivision.
Yesterday, just after noon, we were dispatched a report of a structure fire. The initial report while we were responding was that it was a fully evolved attached two-car garage. When we arrived on location, we found that report to be accurate. The fire was extending in the attic space into the primary dwelling. We commenced what's called a blitz attack, which is heavy water on the area of the garage, while additional lines were stretched to protect the interior of the primary dwelling.
Did it extend to the primary dwelling?
It did. It actually was in the attic space. While it wasn't necessarily in the occupied space, it was up in the attic, extending throughout. So the crews did a great job. They went in there, hooked the ceilings, got water on the fire, and quickly put it out.
So a lot of damage to this home, of course, not livable at all at this point. How are the occupants?
The occupants were actually occupying the structure at the time of the fire and didn't know that the house was on fire until some neighbors came over and notified them and then helped them out of the house. They were uninjured. Obviously, they're upset. They were trying to figure out exactly what happened. There wasn't a lot of activities preceding it. They were out running errands, things like that. Returned the vehicle that was in the garage at the time of the fire. We're driving out earlier in the day and returned it back to the garage prior to the fire.
So at this point, accidental in nature, but do you know what the cause is?
Well, we know obviously the ignition source was in the garage. There were several activities that were in that immediate area. The fire remains under investigation, but there's no indicators at this point that it's an intentional act.
And Mercy Air transported a motorcycle accident victim this morning after a local business owner, Jennifer Benedict, who owns Liberty Ice, located the man on the side of the roadway.
Early this morning before 6 a.m., we were dispatched for a mutual aid assignment to Clark County for a report of a motorcycle accident with the driver laying face down in the median covered in blood. Crews responded, arrived there in a timely fashion, and found the accident as reported. The rider had sustained serious injuries. Mercy Air 21 was launched to the scene. The LZ was managed on Highway 160. Patient care was transferred, and that patient was flown to trauma.
How far out was this on Highway 160?
Approximately mile marker 33.
Wow. And so it's a single vehicle accident, right?
Single vehicle accident. There was a separation distance of the rider and the bike by probably about 40, 50 feet.
And stay tuned to News 46. We'll have more local news for you just ahead.